in the club, they getting wild for me. And all the pretty chicks all wanna smile at me. These rap cats, man, they all got this style for me. And if I ever see them, man, they probably bow to me. And when this beat drop, I know they gon' lean. World debut, I know they gon' fiend. Everything Mississippi to the Palm Springs. Girls from brunettes down to blonde queens. These young boys don't know what a Don mean. I'm just a bad boy, gone clean. I'm the diamond chain choker, always remain sober. Don't drink liquor and all the game's over. Need a plane, I explain it to my broker. 3 box in the hood, top down, and ain't over. You know there's more, man, where that come from? Me and Courdel Love rolling back to back in one.
See, the names have all changed since I've been around, but the game ain't the same since I left out.
Still I'm the most fly. I win so much they wanna know who I'm coached by. Every day approached by chicks when I was multi. Wanna give me soul side, but I'm like, don't try. I see the hisses and the disses when I go by, but see the misses on my wrists when I float by. Self-control and I can't tell you no lie. Trying to find a soulmate, you end up being soul tied. I make my money, man, without the coca. Living la vida without the loca. I'm down south, so they show me country love, and I ain't even country thug. The people give me daps and hugs, so it must be love. And I love the country grub. It feel good to hear people singing welcome back. And I ain't even selling the track, cause I'm that Harlem cat.
The names have all changed since I've been around, but the game ain't the same since I left out.
They getting wild for me, and all the pretty chicks all wanna smile at me. These rap cats, man, they all got this style for me. And if I ever see them, man, they probably bow to me. And when this beat drop, I know they gon' lean. World debut, I know they gon' fiend. Everything Mississippi to the Palm Springs. Girls from brunettes down to blonde queens. These young boys don't know what a Don mean. I'm just a bad boy, gone clean. I'm the diamond chain choker, always remain sober. Don't drink liquor and all the game's over. Need a plane, I explain it to my broker. 3 box in the hood, top down, and ain't over. You know there's more, man, where that come from? Me and Courdel Love rolling back to back in one.
See, the names have all changed since I've been around, but the game ain't the same since I left out.
Still I'm the most fly. I win so much they wanna know who I'm coached by. Every day approached by chicks when I was multi. Wanna give me soul side, but I'm like, don't try. I see the hisses and the disses when I go by, but see the misses on my wrists when I float by. Self-control and I can't tell you no lie. Trying to find a soulmate, you end up being soul tied. I make my money, man, without the coca. Living la vida without the loca. I'm down south, so they show me country love, and I ain't even country thug. The people give me daps and hugs, so it must be love. And I love the country grub. It feel good to hear people singing welcome back. And I ain't even selling the track, cause I'm that Harlem cat.
The names have all changed since I've been around, but the game ain't the same since I left out. I've been around, but the game ain't the same since I left out. Ooh, you know we made ya. Ooh, you know we made ya. Here's where we need ya. Here's where we need ya.
You know you like that. 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 What? You know you like that. Come on. You know you like that. They're getting wild for me, and all the pretty chicks all wanna smile at me. These rap cats, man, they all got this style from me, and if I ever see them, man, they probably bow to me. And when this beat drop, I know they gon' lean. World debut, I know they gon' fiend. Everything Mississippi to the Palm Springs. Girls from brunettes down to blonde queens. These young boys don't know what a dawn mean. I'm just a bad boy, gone clean. I'm the diamond chain choker, always remain sober. Don't drink liquor and all the game's over. Need a plane, I explain it to my broker. 3 box in the hood, top down, and ain't over. You know there's more, man, where that come from? Me and Courdel Love rolling back to back in one.
See, the names have all changed since I've been around, but the game ain't the same since I left out.
most high, still I'm the most fly. I win so much they wanna know who I'm coached by. Every day approached by chicks when I was multi. Wanna give me soul side, but I'm like, don't try. I see the hisses and the disses when I go by, but see the misses on my wrists when I float by. Self-control and I can't tell you no lie. Trying to find a soulmate, you end up being soul tied. I make my money, man, without the coca. Living la vida without the loca. I'm down south, so they show me country love, and I ain't even country thug. The people give me daps and hugs, so it must be love. And I love the country grub. It feel good to hear people singing welcome back. And I ain't even selling the track, cause I'm that Harlem cat.
The names have all changed since I've been around, but the game ain't the same since I left out. Have all changed since I've been around, but the game ain't the same since I left out.
You know you like that. 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 What? You know you like that. Come on. You know you like that.
Hey, yo, my G, where you from?
Guyana.
Ghana?
No, Guyana.
Yeah, yeah,
Hello, Wagwan.
yeah.
I came from a land. It have many water, many great sons and many daughter. And we have the land, yo, where many ask for. We never see Katrina, nah, those disaster. I feel nice, we come from the golden city. Girl born in gold dust, so we show them pretty. The man full of faith, me nah know none was slippy. Guyana, me say big up on no city. Cause this is the dear land of the free, land of the many waters, resources and trees, land of the rivers and seas. I proud, Phoebe, Guyanese, land of the Amerindians, the Africans, the East Indians, and Portuguese, not to mention the Europeans and the Chinese. Them feel blessed from Guyana beach breeze. Cause enough people tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one-drop falls. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. Alright, 1, 2, mic check. View from gravity, are the nicest. Match time, my city, are the hypest. We see them gyal wind up in a some liquor tight dress. We are hustle from morning till night catch. Them finno Guyanese get a youth not like rest. House and car, them finno we like press. Check the bank line them, we not like check. We got gold and diamond, them think priceless. Timber bauxite, then check the aisle next. GDF, Miami is the finest. I mean I talk about the sugar, nor the rice yet. So I'm Marshall, I drop the Guyanese bomb. For feed the nation, that's the Guyanese plan. Big up a kilo, them with them Guyanese land. Guyana, that's where them Guyanese from. People tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is.
Wake up, the day is bright, and I feel the blue. Turn it down for your vibe, we're ready to go. With Courdel Jones, you know it's gonna be real. From 8 to 9, bring your vibes you can feel.
News, and what's hot today will keep you wired in every way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Livewire. Wake up, the day is bright, time to feel the flow. From your dial to Livewire, we're ready to go.
Jones, you know it's gonna be real. From 8 to 9, from 8 to 9, bringing vibes you can feel. News, views, and what's hot today. We'll keep you wired in every way. We'll keep you wired every way. In every way. Livewire, so in and feel the spark. Every morning lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Stories that matter, we got the scoop. From the latest headlines to the local truth. It's your community, your voice, your power. Livewire hits you every hour. So grab your coffee, your tea, your toast. With Courdel Jones, we'll give you the most. Livewire, we'll give you the way. Running to the energy, the beat of the street, the show that connects. It's where people meet. We're wired to your world, we got the news. On Livewire, there's nothing to lose. Livewire, turn and feel the spark. Every morning lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Stories that matter, we got the scoop. From the latest headlines to the local truth. It's your community, your voice, your power. Livewire hits you every hour. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning lighting up your heart. It's your community.
Nice to meet you. Good afternoon, sir. I wanted to ask you, what do you do for your president job, and how exactly hard it is, and what kind of stuff would you export and import?
Well, remember I told you, nothing is hard in life. Once you have commitment, once you work hard, right? And as the president, you have to be able to love people. You have to be able to listen to people. You have to be able to work at every level. Then you have to be the leaders here in Ghana. You have to work with farmers, work with laborers, work with CEOs, accountants, engineers, doctors. You have to be able to work at every single level, right? And success is about putting in the work. It's about putting in hard work. It's about determination. It's about commitment. It's about loving what you do. When you love what you do, it's no longer work, it's joy. So I love being with the people. I love listening to the people. I love solving problems. Where were you born?
I was born right here in Georgetown.
And where do you live now?
I live right here in Georgetown in Sophia, Beefield, Sophia.
Okay, and what do you want to do?
Well, when I grow up, I want to be a president,
Very
a
good.
scientist, or even an engineer.
Yeah, you want to be any one of the three?
Yes.
Yeah, well, you can start working. Before I was the president, I used to work at the Ministry of Finance, the Caribbean Development Plan Project Implementation Unit. So you have to work your way up, right? Remember, in life, small steps, but steps of commitment, steps of love, steps of determination. And you have to have a very strong foundation. That is why school is important.
Sometimes in school, I might be the library done because I want to go and read in the library, probably lunchtime time.
Okay, so the school have a library?
Yeah, but we don't have any books, that's one thing.
You want more books in the library?
Yeah.
So you need more books in the library?
Yeah, I'm talking about generally almost all the school kids. Because some kids who are not able to afford books, I prefer that every child has an opportunity to be able to read.
That's beautiful. You know what's beautiful about that? That I'm asking you questions about what you think, and you're thinking about everyone else. And that's a good quality. That's a very good quality. When you think about everyone else and what is good for everyone, That's a beautiful quality. That's a quality that makes you an exceptional person. All right? So it's not about you. Life is not about you alone. It's about everyone around you. And I really admire that. All your answers are about not only you, but everyone around you. Good job. You're on to a good start of being that president, right?
I'm very grateful to our government, our president, and our ministers. I like him a lot. He's very respectful. I think the president could take us from a third world country to first world country. I love my country, Guyana. It's a peaceful country.
Good morning, and welcome back to Livewire with yours truly. Thank you guys for tuning into the episode. Thank you guys for actually signing on to the live again. I received all the messages from persons asking when we were going to be back, um, you know, and finding out what was going on with us. Nevertheless, we did say before we went on the break that we would be taking a break, and we are back. That was an interaction there, and I should say happy International Men's Day to all the men out there. The nurses remember Nurse Day, the women remember Women Day, all kind of thing, but nobody remembers International Men's Day. And I guarantee you most men ain't gonna get nothing today, but what we gonna do, right? What we gonna do? But from me to all the other men out there, happy International Men's Day. I hope that the persons in your lives treat you a little better. Jesus Christ. Hold on a second. Yeah, sorry about that. Right. So again, happy International Men's Day to all the men out there, especially those men, Guyanese men, and those men who are supporters of Livewire and the Morning Live and those kinds of things. Morning to the persons joining us across the 10 administrative regions. Morning to the persons joining us across the diaspora. And special good morning to the persons joining us in the comment section. Morning to you guys. Chris Harry Paul, morning to you. Hanuman Prem Kumar, Sridat, Rabindranath, Joanne McCrae, morning to you. Paul Singh, good morning. Philomena Lee, morning to you. Asif Ahmad, morning to you. Mazo Inshan, Lash PA. Ms. Babo Tomoka, morning to you. Vic Pandey, Bibi Hack, good morning. Bibi Kalichuran, Violet Prasad, Tulsiram Chetty, morning to you. Greg Hill, Vera Badar, good morning. Sunita Prasad, Bibi Far, Bibi Jaikaran, Prasad Pati, Omar Sharif, Rajendra Mahes, good morning to you guys. Robert Ramp, Ravindra Subran, good morning to you. Sunita Sukraj, good morning to you. Steve Chan, Sarika Bagwadin, good morning. I don't know why I'm not going to get these eyes tested, I just keep straining them. Shivani Rampasad, morning to you. Carla Daniels joining us from Morocco. Good morning. Geeta Narain. Dan Mati Balgobin, good morning to you. Abu Sharif, morning to you. Everybody, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. So let's get into it. Trouble. A lot has happened. A lot has happened since we would have taken the break, and we got catch up. We got catch up. So we had several court rulings, court hearings and court rulings. And some persons took some of those rulings as a victory. And I think this was an attempt to mislead their following and mislead Guyanese who may not be well read or take the time to go and look for the information so that they have a clear understanding of what actually took place. Now, I'm not going to be touching on a lot of topics this morning. And if you'd like for us to discuss anything specific this morning, You can put it in the comment section, or you can call me on 671-6228. Let me put the number at the bottom of the screen. Right. I'll give you guys the opportunity to add to the conversation this morning. There we go. Right. And yeah, you call and share your views very soon, very shortly. I forget I even had that there. But seriously, call and we can talk. But I wanted to get into this here first. Right now, last evening, a ruling was made. Well, rulings are public information, but we had a ruling from the Justice George, I should say. Right now, why is this important? And the reason I chose to look at this morning, um, I want especially those persons who are avid avid followers of Azruddin Muhammad, the persons who literally are out there thinking that this is just persecution, political persecution. There's no evidence of Muhammad doing anything. The only reason these indictments and all these charges are against the Mohammeds, and they're looking at the and I can say Lamborghini. I don't care what he said. Lamborghini. I saying it like a Guyanese. Lamborghini. And the importation of the Lamborghini and the Land Cruisers and all these things happened in the correct fashion, and people are just turning on Azruddin Muhammad. Now, I want to say again to persons, I know a lot of people have been saying it. The vice president has been saying it. Guyanese critic has been shouting it for months on end. I was saying it here as well. Please don't be fooled. Right? Azruddin Muhammad is not an angel or a pie. And persons need to understand that. So we now have, or in between yesterday and the date of the ruling of Justice Gino Prasad, we have two cases with two completely different rulings, but the scenarios are very similar, right? So that's what I want to talk to you about this morning, right? Two judges, the same law, completely opposite results. And we want to look at why. Right? Now, Justice George would have, I think just yesterday, delivered a ruling in the Zhang Zhengzhou versus GRA case. Now, this is a Chinese guy. I might be butchering his name. Right? Now, Justice George ruled that GRA absolutely has the legal power to conduct post-clearance audits under multiple sections of the Customs Act. That is the ruling of Justice George, or at least a part of it. In the ruling, it explicitly said the Customs Act allows reassessment after goods are entered and cleared. Right? Now, what you need to understand is the provisions identified by GRE permits the reassessment of taxes after goods have been entered and cleared. So the goods enter the country, cleared through customs, they can be reassessed. Right? Now, let's contrast that. Justice Prasad, in the Mohammed Lamborghini case, ruled the exact opposite. In his ruling, it is said that GRA has no power to conduct post-clearance assessment once a vehicle has been entered and the taxes have been paid. Now, understand, this is the centerpiece of the Mohammed's victory. Right? You saw us go on, do several lives to make it seem like this was a grandiose victory for him. But really and truly, it was, you could say, a dark day for Guyana. Now, both judges were looking at the same act, the same sections, section 17, sections 22, and sections 233, fifth schedule, and the fifth schedule. But only Muhammad's judge rejected the law. Now, this raises obvious questions. How does a billionaire with enormous reach get the benefit of a legal interpretation no one else in the country ever received? Think about it. Right? A billionaire with access to endless funds getting a ruling that nobody else in this country ever get at any point in time. It don't seem strange to you? Because it seems a bit strange to me. Right? Now, in my opinion, Justice George's ruling completely destroys Prasad's interpretation. Now, Justice George held that GRA can reassess within 3 years under Section 233. The Commissioner General can demand additional taxes after clearance. Importers have a duty to provide documentation. Failure to do so gives GRA enforceable rights. This is all covered in Justice George's ruling. She stated clearly that restricting GRA would allow importers to make false declarations, and once their goods have been entered and cleared, the authority would not be able to conduct a further assessment. Right? Now, this here, what Gino ruled on, is exactly what Muhammad's lawyers argued. And Justice Prasad accepted it wholesale. So now the question becomes, why did Justice Prasad throw away well-established principles that protect taxpayers and the state from fraud? Why could that be? Right? Why could that be? Now, I want y'all to understand that Justice Prasad invented a criminal charge requirement that does not exist in law. Now, Justice Prasad ruled that GRA cannot reassess taxes until Muhammad is found guilty of corresponding offenses by a criminal court. Now, this is shocking for two reasons. Nothing in the Customs Act speaks to this. Now, Justice George already rejected this logic, ruling that GRA's administrative functions are separate and independent of criminal charges or investigation. So, as other Guyanese are asking, including myself, where did Justice Prasad get this idea from? Whose interest does that interpretation serve? Because it certainly doesn't serve the state of Guyana. It certainly doesn't serve the people of Guyana. Right? Now, the 5 affidavits issued showed GRA was fighting a stacked deck. Muhammad's lawyers complained that GRA filed too many affidavits. Justice Prasad agreed and threw them out. Y'all understand what I'm saying to you? The prosecution come with mountains of affidavits and evidence and whatever they had. And Muhammad's like, say, hey, this is too much thing for we read by. What was this? Justice Prasad agree and throw them things out. So GRA was facing a billionaire importer, a high-profile international sanctions target, you could say a protected family, and massive allegations of tax evasion from this family. Now, with all of that, by God, it would be entirely normal to file multiple affidavits addressing new evidence, criminal development, and international information. So Justice Prasad wasn't interested in the extradition process. He wasn't interested in all the information they had, the receipt that the people sent from overseas showing the true price of the vehicle with the matching VIN numbers and everything. You understand? Oh, we have time for that. Each one was rejected by Justice Prasad, including those relating to the ongoing U.S. extradition request. So he didn't want to see nothing. You understand? And in my view, in my opinion, any responsible judge would consider highly relevant all those affidavits, all that information. Now, this gives the appearance that the judge acted to narrow the case down to one area where Muhammad had the strongest technical argument. You understand? You understand what's going on? Now, Justice Prasad's dismissal of GRA's evidence points to a bias or an influence. Now, Justice Prasad repeatedly, throughout filings from GRA, called their applications abuse of the process, rejected the relevance of the extradition, ignored the fact that the vehicle and the invoicing is a common form of money laundering, dismissed the criminal linkages to Mohammed's as irrelevant. Now, this behavior aligns suspiciously with a judge trying to prevent damaging evidence from entering the record. Suspiciously aligns with it. Now, I want y'all to understand, GRA didn't have a Darren Wade or a Rysdale Ford as their attorney. One very stupid, and the other one, all he does do is put out a set of words to confuse you and leave you there standing. That's my honest opinion of Rysdale Ford. He's just continued talking for prolonged periods of time and using really, really big words that can confuse people. But at the end of it, no substance. No substance in law or probably even in life. I looked at that guy when he went to the CCJ with the 2020 elections, the 2020 elections thing. And I listened to Rice. Then I said, what is smart break bad? Why this smart bad? This is a bad liar. Whole thing throughout. Waste. You understand? Now, it's not like GRA hired them too. GRA hired seven, you hear me? 7 senior attorneys, including 2 senior counsels. The Mohammeds had 2 lawyers. You understand me? The Mohammeds had 2 lawyers. GRA had 7. Yet the ruling reads as if only the Mohammeds' arguments mattered. Only the Mohammeds' authorities were accepted. only the Muhammad's interpretation of the law was deemed correct. Now, understand that Justice George's earlier full court interpretation, which took place in May of 2025, was completely ignored. When a billionaire beats the state and 7 senior attorneys in a lopsided ruling that contradict precedent, people will start to ask questions. Right? Now, just let me make it clear to you that there is a clear pattern here. The Mohammeds win when cases reach certain courts. The Mohammeds win when cases reach certain courts. Now, across multiple matters, asset seizure mysteriously halted, tax demands magically reversed, GRA enforcement regularly frustrated, court applications repeatedly filed to delay, postpone, or stop criminal processes. Judges bending over backwards to accommodate arguments that regular citizens would never benefit from. The Lamborghini ruling fits this pattern perfectly. You know, one thing, and usually I talk about this guy, right? James Bond. I should say MP Bond. Let me be respectful. Right? I know James Bond for a very long time. Very long. At one point, he was my personal lawyer. Right? And at that time, James was deep in the PNC. PNC guy. My aunt, Sandra Jones, was deep in the PNC as well. She was the PNC's former GCOM commissioner, one of them, former GCOM commissioners, right? When she passed, I went to James Bond and that kind of thing. And I had this fear that because my family was PNC and James was PNC, they might collude to stiff me out of my inheritance. And I would never forget what James Bond said to me. Right? I can't remember the exact words, but it was along this line. As an attorney, he would never do anything of that sort to impugn his character in terms of towards his fellow attorneys or their view of him or his standing in the legal system. And that spoke volumes to me. That's not exactly what he said. He said it in his own fancy way. You know, James Bond stuff. Right? But he said that to me. He said, despite my affiliation, I would never do something like that would bring disrepute to my character as an attorney and to my colleagues' interpretation of me or how they view me as an attorney at the bar. But apparently that don't work for everybody. Right? That doesn't work for everybody. Now, Justice Prasad's ruling creates a dangerous precedent. One that the Mohammeds benefit from. Now, if Prasad's interpretation stands, every smuggler cheat, and corrupting Porter now has a clean legal escape. GRA cannot reassess taxes after clearance. Criminals simply rush containers through, then claim, you can't touch me now. Billions in state revenue could vanish yearly. Who benefits most? Who benefits most? The people with the money, like Azrin, and influence to move high-value luxury vehicles through the system. Right? To move these things through the system. Now, the public should ask, why did Justice Prasad ignore a binding full court ruling? Why did Justice Prasad ignore a binding full court ruling? Mohammed's own lawyers admitted 2 separate appeals were filed. One was fully heard and determined by Justice Roxanne George and Justice Harinan in May 2025. Why did Justice Prasad not apply that full court ruling? Why would he adopt an interpretation that contradicts his own superior court's finding? Now understand, the magistrate court can't overrule something that already ruled in the high court. The high court can't overrule or rule in contradiction to something already ruled on in the appeal court. And the appeal court can't contradict something that is ruled on at the CCJ. So whichever is the highest court, and they rule on whatever issue, that is the standard that has to be followed. Why did Justice Prasad not apply the same reasoning as applied by his seniors in May of 2025? So this is not May of 2005 that he happened to forget and he couldn't get access to the documents. This is May of 2025. Why would he contradict his own superiors? Unless some external pressure or influence encouraged the judge to take a position favorable to the Mohammeds. Hypothetically speaking, I'm alleging. There has to be something that make this judge decide to go down this road. Now, the outcome is so extreme, it looks like a privileged, custom-made ruling. Right? Now, Justice Prasad granted every single order the Mohammeds requested, including declaring over 421 million in taxes unlawful, blocking GRA from seizing the vehicles, quashing all tax assessments, and awarding the Mohammeds 750,000 in costs. Now, this level of generosity is rare. This is rare. It is as rare as Darren Wade making a sensible statement. It is as rare as people saying Darren Wade is not a mook. As rare. and literally almost unheard of. For most Guyanese, the courts don't move like this. But for the Mohammeds, it seems the rules are able to be bent. Why does this look like judicial capture or influence? Right? And I'm sure somebody can come out and you can hear I attacking the judiciary. But we're looking at the evidence that's there. Your seniors rule completely different to you. The legal that's how it's work. A lower court don't overrule a higher court. It don't happen. So again, why does this look like something untoward is going on, or something, or as Valda Lawrence said, something very fishy? It stink of fish. I say that because Justice Passad's ruling contradicts precedent. It contradicts legislative intent. It contradicts Justice George's interpretation, his senior. It shields a powerful businessman under extradition scrutiny. It gives billionaire importers a loophole to cripple GRA. It dismisses legitimate evidence. It creates a special class of justice, one not available to the ordinary Guyanese. This kind of thing that destroys confidence in the judiciary. And honestly, Guyana needs answers. I am wondering, and what are the penalties for something like this? How do we hold persons who are in these positions accountable? Because as a judge or a magistrate, I don't think there are much people who could talk to you. You got power. A magistrate could literally have you arrested or locked up easily, no problem. But what about if these persons are somehow corrupted? How do Guyanese hold, if found, well, based on the information, he ruling, what's the term leaders use? He erred. So now that we found out that he's erred, how do you deal with this? You just roll it back and allow him to continue being a judge or whatever he is? Or a justice or wherever he is? What about other Guyanese who might come in front of he, and may experience the same thing? May experience Justice Passad ruling on a matter that has already been ruled on in a completely different way. That could be something that's sending somebody to jail. So how do we hold persons in these positions accountable? Is there like an oversight committee or something for judges and magistrates and these people? How would this happen? And what is the state supposed to? I guess the Attorney General probably know how they will deal with it. But I'm not saying the Attorney General plan to deal with anybody. I'm just saying I'm wondering as a Guyanese, if I do something wrong or if I misrepresent information. Okay, take for instance, If I go to the police and give false information on somebody or in relation to something, there's a charge. Now, and because I'm knowingly going to do that, what happens when a magistrate or a judge rules in a contradictory manner to precedents that are already set? So clearly there's something going on there, because these people are supposed to be aware of the information. They got legal clerks and things to sort stuff, and what's going on here? Is it a case that we just say the judge erred and we move on? But I ain't even gonna come to the magistrate yet with the extradition thing. Look, I plan, is the 24th is the next hearing. I plan to ask Roy Stilford if he saw Azardine Mohammed live, where he said the prosecution came unprepared. That was during the period where we were on break. I am sitting here to tell you Azardine Mohammed is a lying big man, a dishonest individual. You understand? I sat in that courtroom. The people hand over the documents. His lawyers were asking for extra documents, and the prosecutors were saying they're absolutely sure everything Mr. Dujon was asking for would be in the file that they handed over. That is what the man got up and said. He is sure everything he's looking for and asking for will be in the file. And if on the 24th, he finds something that he ain't seeing in the file that he wants to see, those documents will be handed over then. You understand? Also, the magistrate said that was the time for them to submit some reports on something. And they asked if the 24th was too close and they weren't able to do it, they would look at the 28th. You understand? They would look at the 28th. Azardine Mohammed is a lying individual. And for all those Guyanese there that think that Azardine Mohammed and his father did nothing, and people just running after them, all y'all mad. All of you all are crazy. Right? All of you are crazy. Because you trying to tell me all those federal agencies came together because the PPP asked them to do that? So as they don't run for government, all the resources that they would use since 2017 looking at these people, is the PPP send them to do that? Think about it. Is the PPP send them to do that? Now we arguing over who paying the lawyer to prosecute them and who hired the lawyer and all this nonsense. Foolishness. It has to be done. And clearly in Guyana, persons can be corrupted. I'm not saying it's not able to happen in Jamaica or elsewhere, but clearly it seems to be a little more prolific here. So if it is that the Attorney General hired those Jamaicans, no problem. He gonna prosecute it himself. He got other things to do. You gonna see the Attorney General in the magistrate court prosecuting anything. And to safeguard or to ensure that the litigation may not be corrupted, they brought in outside attorneys. There's a local attorney there as well. I saw Azardine Mohammed talk about Mr. Hanuman being a PPP attorney, but yet he refuses to acknowledge all the PNC attorneys that are around him. So it's okay for you to use PNC attorneys and people can't use allegedly PPP attorneys. Mind you, Mr. Hanuman is deemed a PPP attorney because he stood up against the rigging of 2020. Because he stood up against the rigging of 2020, when the PNCAP and UAFC was using the police to block people from getting up to see what was going on and understanding fully what was happening at Ashman's building. So because he stood up for democracy, he's a PPP attorney. But he, Azareen Mohammed, got an idiot like Darren Wade and the Guyanese Harry Potter, the chief cook and bottle washers in terms of PNC attorneys, and you talking them foolishness. I saw him talking in a video, something about justice and police and them things. I have to go and find that family in Wales or wherever it is on the West Bank and do an interview with them so you can understand what they went through when that young man lost his life because a stray bullet came from across the Demerara River. You understand? Coincidentally, in the same direction where As Mohammed got a house, where coincidentally at the same time, As Mohammed had a security service with several high-powered rifles, where we would have seen As Mohammed sitting next to a high-powered rifle. And no justice for that family. No justice for that family. After, no, this is alleged. The family alleged that Shell Mohammed made a promise to look after that family after the fact, or one of the children there after the fact, did nothing. I don't think it's good fortune. I don't think it's good fortune. It's more down wheels. And good fortune is... No, man. Good fortune is on the... We're right there. Good fortune is on the right-hand side of the Harbor Bridge. Good intent is on the left-hand side of the Harbor Bridge. And it was further down. So it's an area adjacent to friendship. So it's more down. It's not good fortune. Right? But I need to go and talk to that family. And let's raise that again. So people understand that this man who now making videos pretending he innocent, and the police, and like a girl crying in the back of the pickup when the police lock him up the day, I thought his gunmen come to kill me. Oh God. When Azadeen Mohammed used to ride around with multiple gunmen follow him around the place. Now you see gunmen, you frightened, they come to kill you? Boy, you better rest yourself. You better rest yourself. Could you imagine Azadeen Mohammed? If you look back at the Al Jazeera report, the little documentary they do, when they went into there and they took out the little box with the gold and the thing, when they were outside of Mohammed's enterprise, they had but 5 to 6 gunmen, big high-power rifles, standing up on Azadeen and frightened. Now the police come for you. You frightened and you crying and you, I saw Sarabu and the run. They come for me with a set of gunmen. You're such a joker. You Azadeen, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. You there on a set of big gun. A set of big gun. Where in Guyana? In the capital city. Police come to arrest somebody and shoot them and kill them in broad daylight like that. And one instance in Guyana where that happened. More so, if that did happen, that turn you into martyr. Jesus Christ. People would rally behind your cars. So, for me personally, all the theater guild that we get in these small stage productions that we get in from Azadeen Mohammed, I think they're very funny. They're very funny. You afraid. You beating people in your store, beating them on the hand with hammer. Don't be a bird. I thought they come to kill me. Bye. You better stop that nonsense. Listen, Guyanese, y'all don't be fooled, you know. Y'all don't be fooled. This guy is just trying to save his neck. This guy is just trying to save his neck. And the sad part about it is at the expense of the Guyanese population, or the few that decide to follow in the footsteps of the Mohammeds. Right? David Hines, up to now, can't condemn Tabitha for going to that worries, but ready to abuse the president about going into Tiger Bay. Not a word when Mohammed's gone into Tiger Bay and suck up all the votes that was for a coalition that he was a part of. Not a word when he dared to run from the coalition and gone to this criminal element. Not a word, but ready to abuse any other Afro-Guyanese who decides to be different or decides to have a different view than to jump on the Afro-Guyanese bandwagon. Not a word. So, listen, these people, I can't really say what I want to say. Y'all got tuned into critic for that. Right? Another thing I wanted to touch on is Terence Campbell. So I noticed he posted a photo with the former education minister, now minister local government. You understand? Terence, you despicable person. Why you don't suggest to why you don't suggest to Coretta or to Odessa, people on your side of the house, to get themselves in order? You're chastising someone who decided to make a decision for the betterment of their life and the longevity of engaging with their family and the nation. So your suggestion is Minister Manichan should have not take stock and put systems in place to become healthier? That's what you say? Why not ask Coretta, big fat Coretta, since you could disrespect Minister Manichan, why you don't ask big fat Coretta to go and join a gym and probably lose a little weight? Huh? What example she set in? She want to be shadow minister education and shadow this and shadow that. What example she set into the youths? To be overweight? To not match up with the body mass index chart? What nonsense you telling people? What nonsense you posting as the leader of the PNC faction in parliament? You see Jurita? You see Jurita's size? Jurita is like a literal living egg ball. Jurita, big, fat, and blue, all saving Jurita's her face. That's it. And you posting thing about Minister Manichan because she decided to live healthier. And mind you, you don't know the process. You know the process. You just assuming something. And even if that's the process, what happened? What happened? The minister don't look better now? The same energy that the minister had then, she has now, and even more. Because during her tenure as Minister of Education, you couldn't say she was like Coretta McDonald, always sitting down somewhere looking lazy and helpless. You understand? Or like Jarita, inhaling everything edible in front of her and doing nothing else. As an education minister, she was out and about doing her job, very active. Now, as a minister of local government, she's even more active. And more so because she's healthier. So how does that become a cost for somebody? How does that become a cost for somebody? Cause Jarita, egg ball looking Jarita. Cause Coretta, with all them ripples on the side, looking like plat bread, that them plat is just rose you got. Cause them. Because they, I said this before, those people have no time with personal development nor national development. They ain't even trying to make themselves better. They ain't even trying to make themselves better. Look at big fat Elizabeth from the PNC. She's so big as her hair falling out. And you coming from Minister Manichan. Your eyes pass people, brother. You understand, Terence? And every chance I get, I can lash out at you. Any stupidness you talk, I can lash out at you. Look at the plank in your eye before you look at the speck in Minister Manichan own. Because none of your colleagues has a record liking hers. None of your colleagues. You understand? So unless you are able, you understand? Unless you are able to talk about Jarita, who is big beyond big, Coretta McDonald, who just, ick. I think there's a new term the youngsters using, ick. Oh, Gid. You understand? Unless you could talk to Elizabeth Niles, big Elizabeth Niles. Unless you could talk about them, people, nobody wants to hear anything about you. And hats off to the minister for taking control and living a healthier life. You should not be chastised about that. And look at Terence, running abusing woman. You must got a little girl in your blood. You understand me? It gotta be. It gotta be. You talking about who fat and who lose weight and all kind of thing. You're a political lightweight. And imagine, this is the similar issue I had with a lady named Juna in Amsterdam. Attacking the first lady when the first lady went on the same path to live healthier. You understand? And she is selling things that cause people to become obese. That is her main business. Chocolate cake, sweetie, ice cream. That is her main business. How could you be such a hypocrite? You are helping persons to become overweight. You are helping persons to become overweight. Then you turn around abusing them. Campbell used to sell chicken, fast food, something that caused many Guyanese to get overweight. And this wretch could jump out and play he talking about people. You talking about people when you contribute to the obesity numbers in Guyana with your fried chicken that you couldn't even maintain. You make Odessa say you got no money. You make Odessa say you got no money because you couldn't even maintain the fried chicken business. The thing that they're bringing you money to cause Guyanese to get fat, you couldn't maintain. Now you jumping out to talk about an accomplished minister. Now here, these things I try to step over lightly because people get offended for the slightest thing. I am saying whatever was done in terms of securing a healthier lifestyle, that is a person's prerogative. If Coretta broke and she can't pay for gym subscription, pay for some kind of procedure, or pay for some sort anything to help her in her obesity, that is her blood clot business. And Kosi, big up yourself. Right? That's her business. If she save her parliamentary salary over the time she's getting it, and she only take it to buy the Lexus and them tiny thing, that's her business. If someone else decides to invest in themselves, how could you chastise them for that? How could you chastise somebody for wanting better for themselves? You understand? How could you chastise somebody for wanting better for themselves? And the people around you, big, fat, and sour. Big, fat, and sour. You have to be fair, buddy. And you have to be a grown-up. And it clearly shows that you have nothing else to share with your followers and supporters of substance. Nothing else. Nothing else. So, Terence, I took offense on the minister's behalf. And somebody the other day telling me I playing as somebody mouthpiece. I taking offense on the minister's behalf, brother. Right? So until you can look at the plank in your party's eye, you understand? Or the gelatinous substance that is associated with the fat people that are associated with your party. Let me break it down. Until you can address and help the fat people in your party, you leave people alone who are getting themselves right and healthier. You understand? You leave persons alone who are interested in long life and living healthy. You think Jorita could do a day our minister Malik Chandler's do? I wish they had them like stuff you could do that, like that. You know? All these people who want to be so they want to lead, they want to do this, they want to do that. If you could get them a week to say, all right, you got all these plans, hey, you be a minister for a week. And you will see how they would struggle. You would see how they would struggle. Jorita's biggest accomplishment is walking in Moses Nagamutu office. If she climbed on a treadmill, it would beat that accomplishment of walking in Moses Nagamutu office. If Coretta do it, it might break. But I would still give her an A for effort. Right? Look at is what he named, the General Secretary, the man who conduct the elections to the PNC. Big and fat and so, and he coming after Minister Manichan. Tracy, thank you for sending me the International Men's Day greeting. Tracy Martindale from Bartica. This is the only person who sent me a Men's Day greeting. Thank you so much, Tracy. John, morning to you. I hope you're doing well. John is not too well. I hope things get better for you, bro. And you know, you pull through with what you're dealing with there, right? But imagine Terence Campbell, you out of order, brother, disrespectful manner. Right? Anyway, guys, thank you for being here this morning. This morning on the Benjamin, yes, big fat Benjamin. Go to Benjamin and talk to he. Go to Annette Ferguson. You see how Annette Ferguson big? You see how Annette Ferguson big? When last you see Annette Ferguson, Terence Campbell? Go and check Annette Ferguson. Big. Big. Some of y'all ridiculous. You understand? And again, no, the people in here get International Men's Day greeting. They start to send. It's got dark. It's got dark to get some kind of thing. I don't know why men just get treated so bad, you know. I saw a post yesterday on WhatsApp where somebody said tomorrow's International Day and men ain't gonna get nothing. You understand? It's true. It's true. We get treated bad. Thank you for the greeting, Pam. You understand? We get treated bad. Right? I wouldn't even bother with David Hines. David Hines continues to believe that oh boy. David Hines continues to believe that they have the least, the prescriptive rights for Afro-Guyanese. Right? As I said earlier, I don't know if you were here. Devil something. But David Hines couldn't jump out of Saturday and stay out to Tiger Bay. Stay out to Tiger Bay, don't thief all we votes. You understand? David Hines could say that Tazuddin Mohammed. Stay out to Tiger Bay, don't steal all we votes. Now President Ali goes into Tiger Bay to actually make a difference. He got a problem with that. Let me ask y'all something. And somebody could ask that piece of shit David Hines. When last he went into Tiger Bay? When was the last time that David Hines went into Tiger Bay? That's the question we gotta ask. How many times did David Granger go into Tiger Bay? Or what did he do in Tiger Bay? Nazali, thank you. Right? What did he do in Tiger Bay? And that's the hypocrisy that I can't stand with some of these guys in politics. David Hines has not done a WPA, APNU, AFC, no kind of outreach in Tiger Bay. During 2015 to 2020, David Hines had no say in nothing. He couldn't do nothing. He couldn't tell nobody nothing. And now turning to tell people to stay out of Tiger Bay. David, let us know one initiative that you champion for Tiger Bayans. I just call them though. Tiger Bay people. Anita, thank you. You understand? That's one thing the WPA did for people in Tiger Bay. Tell us one thing during 2015 to 2020 that the APNU AFC did in Tiger Bay. We could wait, but we're going to be waiting a long time. Peter, thank you. You understand? We're going to be waiting a long time. So these are the same people who had inaction. They didn't want to do anything. They couldn't do anything. They have no time with the people at Tiger Bay. The president be living right at the people's house right there. And they ain't going there. Grange ain't going there. President Ali went in there. And it's a problem. Guyanese don't live in Tiger Bay. He's not the president of Guyana. The people of Guyana are not Guyanese. That is what you get from people like David Hines. All David Hines has done in his life is pontificate over various topics. Listen, David Hines this is a high point of David Hines' career. David Hines has never been a member of parliament, never had no government position, nothing. Now, in his ripe old age, he come and meet his daughter. You understand? You understand? He come and meet his daughter in parliament after she done do a stint as a minister. You remember how people used to ask why Barnum never met Granger, the head of the army? You got to ask why WPA never win an election, never win a seat in parliament. Ever. It got to be a reason. It has to be a reason. And that's what I want a lot of y'all to understand. This is the high point of David's career. And listen, you see when David is taking the oath, he MP oath. Yeah. Janice got a big torchlight over here. And even with the torchlight, he's stumbling and bumbling like a fool. Stumbling and bumbling like a fool. So I am interested to hear his presentations in the National Assembly when that time comes. I'm waiting patiently. I'd love to see what David Hines brings. You know, you can imagine Azardine Mohammed presenting at a budget debate or the leader of the opposition speaks after the Minister of Finance. Right? He said, Jesus. So at the budget debates, at the end, the two last speakers is usually the leader of the opposition, and then I think is the Minister of Finance. You can imagine Minister Ashley Singh coming after Azrin Mohammed on a budget debate. Somebody said murder. Murder. Mind you, Dr. Ashley Singh is one of the most prolific lyricists they have here in Guyana. You understand me? I think he's only seconded by the Attorney General. When I tell you Lash, I'm proper intellectual Lash. These men is trouble, buddy. These guys is trouble. These guys is trouble. Anyway, guys, I'm getting out of here. I got some stuff to do today. You guys, please be safe on the roadways. I must mention what is going on the Barajagio River Bridge. Why we got 5-6 car pile up. We are doing on the bridge. So I am thinking that it's a case of people going too fast and a case of persons still in awe of the bridge. So it got to be that people still looking over the sides and, you know, you're paying attention. Slow down. Oh, gosh. Oh, man. This thing becoming a little ridiculous now, man. Anyway, guys, y'all have a wonderful day. Please be safe on the roadways. Thank you all for tuning into the live. It's good to see that I still have the support of so many of you out here. Please share the live, no matter wherever you're looking at us from. And we'll be back here tomorrow, same time, same place. And as I usually say before I go, it's all about peace. It's all about love. It's all about one Guyana.
We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from from foreign places. Talk about taking over. We ain't backing down.